Hello. So it is time for week 1 of VPL. Season 4 technically, but you know, it's our first season in the VPL. And despite it being our first season in the VPL, we're playing the only person that we actually know in the VPL. So those who remember UBL Season 6 might remember this opponent. And that is the fact that this is a Fedora gamer, also known as Fedora, and the Yellow Knife Yums. So they're the only person I actually know of in this league. Everyone else is completely new to me. But Fedora was someone who actually came over from VPL to UBL to play. Again, I believe through Snow and Rat. Yeah, so we played them week 1. And that team's pretty scary. They've got Heatran, Breloom, Swampert, Yanmega, Weavile, Mismagius, Rotom Miltank, Skuntank, and Chimecho. So, we're doing this on the Bullhawk dock, because I just wanted to make things pretty clear, because there's a few, worthy things to note, because it does have Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl information. Notably on, the Hazard game, which I think is pretty important to note. They have 3 Stealth Rockers, 3 reliable ones at that, but their default game, on the other hand, is a lot more limited. So, I wanted to make note of that. Their speeds are better than ours, unfortunately. If you look, they've got that top end on Weavile, which is very scary. Weavile is a very, very scary Pokemon for our team, but we do have a couple nice answers to it. Breloom's also very scary, actually one of the higher tier Pokemon. Breloom is actually 16 points because the format's slower, it can just really snowball out of control. Heatran's kind of a pain to take down, just regardless, and in this format where there's less good ground types. Yeah, Heatran could be a nightmare. Swampert could be a nightmare. A lot of Pokemon can be quite difficult to take down, and the few sweepers that they have, notably in Breloom, Weavile, and Mismagius, can be very, very scary. So, but we've got some interesting options to bring to the table for this one. Let's start off with probably the most interesting. We're bringing Blossom week 1. There is a Swampert and a Breloom, and I think that honestly justifies Blossom just enough. We're running Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, Energy Ball, and Moonblast. We are very specially offensive, to be fair. And the reason for it is that with this investment, we actually get the KO on, I believe, all but full special defense Swamperts with the Energy Ball, and Moonblast actually OHKOs offensive Breloom. On top of that, a little bit of physical defense that we have left over goes in there, which means we actually don't get to it KO'd by 2 life orb Mark Punches, which is really, really nice. Blossom can come in, sponge a hit, and then take the second one and just get the kill. So yeah, Blossom's coming week 1. I need ways to kill that Swampert at some point. And it's also a nice switch into that as well as the Breloom. Which, just switching into Spores can be quite difficult, so I figured having the Blossom would be quite nice. Next up, a little bit more standard, our Scarf Blaziken. To absolutely no one's surprise. It outspeeds Weavile. We get to go Adamant, even outspeeding the Weavile. Flare Blitz, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Earthquake for the Heatran. Very standard Scarf Blaziken. It's going to help clean up in the late game. Revenge a ton of stuff. If they don't have Scarfers of their own, this will outspeed the whole team. The only Scarfer I can really see coming is like Scarf Heatran or maybe Scarf Rotom. That's about it. So I think Blaziken's pretty safe here to just kind of go on a tear in the late game if it needs to, or just kind of like force switches early. So next up, Manaphy. We're not running Tail Glow for this one. Kind of interesting that we're not running Tail Glow. even though we get the opportunity. But I think this set is a little bit better. I realise I think I'm not running enough speed on something. Am I not running enough speed on something? Let me check some speeds. Jolly? I'm running too much speed, unless I'm going for something else. Am I going for something else, or am I just going for this? Because this doesn't outspeed Heatran. I can tell you that for free. I think I was going for... Breloom, and then I realized I don't need that much speed for Breloom. I just need that much speed, so we get to put a bit more in defense. So we're Calm Mind, our Rest, Rain Dance, Calm Mind, Scald. This is our late game win condition. If Breloom goes down, this can win the game very, very easily. The physical attack is all sort of limited through Breloom and Weavile. And Weavile doesn't really break this that well. And with the Rest and Rain Dance combination, means we get the quick wake up with the hydration, and we get boosted Scalds. And even Breloom can't really deal with this that well. I think it's +1 and rain boosted. And 2 Scalds kills. That's why we're not even running Ice Beam. And also, I've got enough waste for Breloom that I'm expecting Manaphy to kind of, help. Even if it's especially offensive like Subseed Breloom, that's honestly kind of better for us, because that means it's not as offensively scary. And also, Blossom just absolutely will wall it if it is, because that'll be like Spore, Subseed, all that good stuff, and Blossom will just eat it for days. So, but if it is a more defensive variant to try and take on the Manaphy, it's not going to have a good time, and if it's a Swampert trying to deal with the Manaphy, it's not going to have a good time either. They've got to more so offensively break this one, and doing so against Manaphy is not exactly an easy task. So we're kind of treating this like a Suicune this week. We've just got the speed, again, I miscounted, it was actually for the Breloom. And yeah, Manaphy are hopefully going to clean up the late game here. Next up, max speed, max special attack, offensive Neo Queen. I don't think there's really much to say here, other than the fact that we're running Toxic over Toxic Spikes. Despite them not having much removal, there's not much actually on the ground that I want to Toxic Spikes. If you have a look, Weavile, I'd rather get a T-Wave on. We do have things with T-Wave. Miss Magus is off the ground. Again, I'd rather T-Wave it. There's Miltank that I want a Toxic on, not a Poison on. Mega's off the ground, Rotom's off the ground, Skuntank absorbs the T-Spikes and has a decent chance of coming because it's a Dark type to make sure I don't just store power. Heatran's immune. Breloom, sure, but it could also be Poison Heal, so that wouldn't matter. Chimecho's off the ground, and then Swampert's the main one that I actually want to Toxic. That's in the Miltank. So I was like, I may as well just run Toxic. So we got the solid coverage of Ice Beam and Earth Power. That generally hits pretty much everything. Sludge Wave was just kind of a general move to hit with. The only thing I could run is like Flamethrower / Focus Blast for the Weavile. But other than that, I just kind of didn't really feel much need for coverage. If I wanted to go for a generalist move and I just didn't really want to try and click a button that was unsafe, then I could just go for Sludge Wave. And just not have one stab that's, because they have so many floaters, that was unreliable. So, and again, the Ice Beam is quite nice against a lot of things, notably the Breloom, the Rotom Fan, notably those two. It's nice for the Yanmega as well, and obviously the Earth Power for the Heatran, most notably. We've got max speed. This means unless they are running max speed Heatran, we will outspeed it. Also, I was going to run a lot of speed anyway for the Breloom. Regardless, I swear, yeah, okay. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, so Neo Queen just max speed is just gonna hopefully put on a lot of offensive pressure here. Next up, kind of a bulky defensive Latias. I kind of needed something defensive, to kind of round it. Obviously, right now we've kind of got, our setup sweeper and then just some generally offensive / bulky offensive stuff. Latias is kind of our defensive defogger. We wanted defog somewhere. They have very easy ways to stop rocks, so I wanted to make sure I had a reliable defogger, and Latias kind of fills that role. with a reliable recovery in Roost. Dragon Pulse just to generally hit their team because they don't actually have a Fairy type. I was considering Psychic, and then I was like, well, it's either Psychic to make sure I take out the Breloom. Yeah, that's going to switch in, alright. Or just run Dragon Pulse, so I do like 40% to Weavile, and if that means if rocks are up, then that means it's probably going to be a 2-hit KO. With the Dragon Pulse, I might do some extra calcs, actually, just to make sure that that's the case. Because they probably have room to run a decent amount of bulk, to be honest, due to my team being fairly slow. And we're running Earthquake, even though we're timid, even though we're a Latias. I actually did the calc wrong here, so kind of look at Latias here. Oh no, the calc is right now, right? So even though minus attack, Latias, so even less attack than Latios, even with Earthquake, it's a 2-hit KO on special defensive Heatran, which is what I generally would expect. Even if it's physical defensive, max physical defense, it does like 40% minimum, like 39-40% minimum. So it's pretty reasonable. And otherwise, Heatran kind of walls me. It will just come in, set Stealth Rocks, set, I don't think it gets Toxic, but like, I'm pretty sure it still gets Magma Storm. So I want to make sure I've got, you know, just... I wanted a reliable defogger, and in front of any of their defoggers, Latias can come in pretty reliably, just spam Dragon Pulses, and just do reasonable damage. Especially if their rock is going to be Swampert, then, you know, we can do pretty reasonable damage, and then, well, reasonable. This doesn't do much against special defensive Swampert. But yeah, I needed a reliable defogger here, and it can be a pretty decent pivot piece for this team. And last but not least, Spadef Registeel. Has to be Spadef because of the Mismagius. Heavy Slam is a 2-hit KO on Mismagius unless it's super bulky. It's our rocker for the week. We'll T-Wave on there because T-Wave is quite nice. Slows down a lot of their team, so it just means some of our slower pieces, or even not even necessarily slow pieces like Nidoqueen, can come in and just kind of clean up. We've got a decent amount of status, you know, we've got our Blossom with Sleep Powder, Nidoqueen with Toxic, and T-Wave with Registeel. I was going to run T-Wave on Latias, to be honest, but I was like, I don't want to have too much status on the team and just have kind of dead moves. Registeel is going to get to come in a decent amount and just be able to click rocks and T-Wave. Heavy Slime, like I say, is pretty reasonable into a decent amount of Pokemon, and I believe Superpower is actually for the Weavile. Because Heavy Slam is not a KO, and this Registeel with a little bit of defense investment means I believe I live a +2 Jolly Life Orb Brick Break, which is crazy. Registeel is a beast, and even though Registeel is a great defensive piece, I will make that trade every day of the week because Weavile is one of the main threats to the team. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited for my first match for this league. That'd be for VPL. 4 Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl formats. You also notice I am light metal. Apparently, Registeel has to be light metal. It can't run Clear Body. Did not know this, but that's not too big of a downside. The reason why is because apparently it's an event Pokemon. That's why it's available. An event Pokemon, or I think it's like it's just something to do with like you have to run the hidden ability on it. So, yeah. So we have to run light metal. Not exactly. Actually, that is actually kind of a downside, light metal. I actually think I'm gonna run Iron Head then. Just realised that. I'm gonna run Iron Head then. Light metal kind of makes a difference. So we're gonna run Iron Head instead. There we go. But yeah, that'll do it. So I will see you guys for the match. Alright, here we are. It's time for week 1 for VPL. I'm still a little tired, but I've been up for at least a little bit longer than normally I am. Did refresh the page, so my team's not here, but I've got my team to damage calc. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting, really scary actually, because the last time I played Fedora, I lost. I kept going for reads last time I played Fedora, that just didn't pay off, so there we go. Let's do this. No Breloom! Holy cow, no Breloom. Skuntank did come. So... okay, I'm surprised Rotom Fan came. Interesting. Well, what do I want to lead here, then? I mean, honestly, Nidoqueen's a pretty solid lead. Oh, the only bad thing is Weep. I guess Purr, actually. Purr's a pain. Do I just lead Registeel and try and get rocks? It's not a bad idea. That I could just leave Blaziken in U-turn. I'm just gonna leave Blaziken in U-turn. Okay, it's a Rotom. It's a Rotom Fin. This is their only close combat resist. How much would I take from an Air Slash? I mean, that is a very good question. Air Slash can kill me. You know? I don't really want to risk that one yet. I'm just gonna go to Nidoqueen. Okay, they just Volt Switch. Let's just go for a Toxic here. Because the two main switch-ins that they have, I'd want to Toxic, and that's the big one. Nice. We get the Toxic on the Pert, off the bat. Really nice. And, well, let's go to Bellossom. You know? Here we are, I guess. Wait, are they gonna... Okay, there's no way there's Sap Sip and Miltank for Bellossom. There's no shot. Right? There's no shot. I didn't think about this. There's no way there's Sap Sip and Miltank. There's no way there's Sap Sip and Miltank. My grass type is a Bellossom. Are you really afraid of Bellossom? Of course I missed my Leech Seed. That would have been nice to hit. Alright, well, let's just go into Latias. Yeah, let's go into Latias. Roar! Oh, hey. Hi. I mean... do I just Earth Power? How much does Ice Beam do to Fan? Oh, if it's offensive, it's likely a kill, and even if not, it's like a 2-hit KO. I think I'm okay just going for the Earth Power here, not making too many aggressive plays. They go to Pert. This should do reasonable damage, I think. And I will apologize for the crits, because that was a big crit. That kind of, you know, kills Swampert, especially because that was a physically defensive Swampert, I think. 76%? Yeah, that's a physically offensive Swampert. That means I can just Ice Beam here for the kill. I mean, sure, I reveal Ice Beam, but I think they should expect it. Like, I'm not gonna mess about. That's their most likely rocker down. Oh, so if I can defog with Latias, that's pretty solid. Yeah, here's the Weavile, and, you know, here's an issue. You know, it's a Weavile. I'm just gonna go to Registeel, and, I'm not in Prime. I can be. I can be in Prime position to do this. Depends on what kind of Weavile this is. Registeel doesn't do a lot right now, which is awkward. The main thing about Registeel right now is the fact that I want rocks gone. You go for Throat Chop. That did a lot. That feels banded. But maybe I'm wrong. Throat Chop? That is banded. Can they get that out of Animate? They can. So they could be Animate banned. Oh, they also could be Jolly banned. Like, I kind of want a superpower, but there's a good chance they just stay in. Well, there's a good chance they switch. I kind of want to just T-Wave. Because then this Weavile's kind of neutered. I mean, this is the best status I'm going to get on this Heatran, so I'm not too upset about it. They could just Roar. They could also try and actually hit me, and I'd rather them not hit me, so I'm just going to go to Latias. They Plume. No burns? Nah. I mean, I want these rocks gone, so I'm going to defog. Full power. I mean, I was going to get one at some point, hopefully. Let's just roost on up. So I could switch here. I've kind of done my thing, and they could expect me to switch. Do they have an... they've got Roar on this Heatran. Okay, so Manaphy's not winning yet. So let's go for an Earthquake. That does nothing. Right, because I'm burned. I'm burned. That's actually kind of annoying. I think keeping Latias healthy is, like, not a bad idea. Fan comes out. I mean, I outspeed Fan. And so I'll just take a nice Dragon Pulse on it. Ooh, it's Scarfed. Okay, good to know. Good to know that that is indeed a Scarfed one. Okay, how much do I need to take out this Heatran? Manaphy versus... I want to see... Okay, well, first let's have a look at Latias. Latias... Burned Latias. Where is it? Burned? Okay, yeah, so it looks like it's going to be specially defensive. So if it is a fully specially defensive Heatran versus Manaphy... Rain boosted +1. I'm gonna need rain boosted +2. Rain boosted +2. Okay. How much is this gonna do to Manaphy right now? What's it called? Rotom? It's gonna do a bit more than I'd like. May as well get a steal. I'm just gonna try and set up my rocks here, because, I mean, they're... If I get flinched to death, okay. I get up my rocks. So, you know, that's nice. Their defogger is going to be the Scun tank. How much is this going to do to Nidoqueen? About 40%. Not something I'm a fan of. Fan. I'm so stupid. I hate myself. I hate everything. I blame Rat for this. Even if they're defensive, I don't think they're living that, so... think I'm okay just staying in and going for an Iron Head. Okay, yeah, here comes the Scun tank. It's kind of what I expected. Do reasonable damage to the Iron Head. This should be a defog or something that Nidoqueen can absolutely take. Yep. So I'm just going to Earth Power. I'm not going to play around predictions. They go to Miltank. Holy cow! That's a lot of damage. I can reveal my last move here, if I want to. I think I will, just to play it safe. So it's Scarf Rotom, Spadef Heatran, Banded Weavile, and then some form of Scun tank. You know, it's not far off before Blaziken starts winning the game. Do I need Blossom at this point? Probably not. Weavile. If it's Throat Chop? Yeah, Banded Throat Chop is still going to 2-hit KO me. What about Manaphy, actually? Manaphy. Pretty reasonable, for me to go to Manaphy here. I don't need Blossom here. And I don't want to go to Registeel. I went to Registeel last time. I'll go to Blossom. Wow. The thing is, now I get to go to Manaphy. Can Rotom Trick? That is something to ask. Where is it? BDSP Draft. Rotom. Fan. Can you Trick? You can. This could have Roar. I suppose I would rather know if it had Roar. Could be, yeah, Defog Roar, like, Dual Stab would make sense. I'm just gonna go for it. It's Toxic. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I only need the 2, I believe. Let me just double check for... Weavile plus 2, Rain Boosted is a kill. Could have some bulk on it. But I'm going to get off my Rain Dance now. Just gonna go for my rest. Yep. So they're fast. They get the poison off, but I've got the rest.
God, I love this set. This is such a good set. Since it outspeeds me, I want to kind of make sure I'm at the most HP I can be. So I want to make sure I actually get the kill here on the Scum Tank. Which, saying it outspeeds me, it's probably not running a lot of bulk. +2 rain boosted should get a KO, so. Yep. T-Bolt doesn't do much. Think I am still able to live a banded Weavile hit here. Yep. Lives on 1. It's not great. Should have gone for the extra, but to save a point of differential, we'll go to Blaziken. That was a crit. For 84. Let's go for a close combat. And that should wrap it up. GG. Bit of luck in my favour for sure, but we get the win very, very, very cleanly. That Manaphy set was a killer. Yeah, multiple ways to try and stop me, but the only one that could stop me was Raw Heatran, and Raw Heatran was not enough. Blossom didn't end up doing it as much, just because I ended up getting a crit on the Swampert, and Breloom didn't come, but yeah. Blaziken, Manaphy, and Nidoqueen all got 2 kills each. So, yeah, really, really solid performance on that first week. We played that super, super well. Again, we got a couple lucky things. The crit on the Swampert was a big deal, because, I mean, granted, I think they were going down to 2, but that meant they couldn't really keep it around for much longer. There would have been more mind games there. They got paralyzed like 3 times on Heatran, which is unfortunate. And our only loss was Blossom, so we actually ended up getting a 5-0 win. That doesn't actually put us at top. There was someone who did get a 6-0 win this week. But I played it safe. I was like, not even a crit's gonna KO Blaziken. There's no way. Blaziken actually has reasonable enough bulk to take that hit in the end. So, that will do it. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.